Well, the time is just gone 9:30 as we head into the final half hour of this morning's edition of News and Views. And we are now talking to the South African National Zakat Fund, the Gauteng branch honoring senior citizens. We joined in studio, Alhamdulillah, this morning live by one of the representatives from SANZAF, Sister Abeda Sader. Sister Abeda, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, and I do appreciate you taking time out and joining us in studio this morning.
No, you're welcome. Jazakallah.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
You know, we want to talk about senior citizens. We want to talk about aging. We're talking about aging with dignity.
Yeah.
And I know SANZAF has actually gone a very, very long way in making that possible, in making that a reality for our senior citizens. And just talking about, the program that SANZAF actually runs. And perhaps if we could just start off by providing us with a brief overview and the core purpose as to why this program regarding senior citizens is so important to SANZAF.
So this program we started many years ago, but on a smaller scale. You know, senior citizens are marginalized, whether they from which background they come from, they're all marginalized. So we decided we were looking at programs, what we can do. So we decided on doing the senior citizens. So we decided to do on a monthly basis, we do 10 senior citizens per year. So I do 5 females and 5 males for the year. So we take them out, we identify them. So I'm not sure if you know Munib Martin. He works with he works with the IMA. He identifies the senior citizens because he works in those areas, Osmo, Nuclear, that part of the world. So he identifies us. So we take 20 senior citizens a month. And so we do a breakfast for them. We do a lunch for them. We do a motivational talk for them. And you can't believe, I can't explain to you the feeling of it, with these seniors. They look forward to coming to our program. You must know, senior citizens, like I mentioned earlier, they are all marginalized. So they look forward to coming out and enjoying the day with us because we give them a good day.
Well, I'm sure, and I'm sure that there's a lot of inspiration. There's a lot of motivation behind hosting a program and doing something special for senior citizens. And if I recall, many years ago, I actually went to an old age home and I did a whole broadcast and an interview with senior citizens. And really, you come out with a lump in your throat.
Definitely.
Just listening to them, their loneliness, their stories, abandoned by children, the challenges that they go through. And I suppose that must be a huge motivation as well in terms of trying to achieve something for the elders in our community, for widows, for people, obviously, that now at this late age in their life, they feel just so alone.
Definitely. And in today's times, it's different. It's not in the days, back where old people were still with their family. Today, they are, like I said, marginalized. Children not talking to them. They're in one corner, don't talk to them, don't speak to them. Grandchildren are also not, where their grannies rude to them and things. So it's very difficult for them. So when they come out, actually, they vent out whatever they want to say when they come to our programs, which is quite amazing because, some of them, the things they tell us, I don't think anybody would want to tell us something like that. But because they can't do it at home, they come out and, when they I won't say it's frustration, but it's like they just want to say something to get it off their chest. And I don't know what to say.
No. I know
it's so emotional.
No, I can fully understand what you're trying to convey, and I'm sure many of our listeners and our viewers can actually identify with what you are, with the messaging that you are giving. But the fact that SANZAF is doing something about it speaks volumes. And let us just talk a bit about day-to-day activities. I think this is important because, what does a program look like on a monthly basis? What do you do that makes such a huge difference in their lives?
So like I said, we do on a monthly basis, we do 10 for the year. So we take the ladies 5 for the year and 5 females. So when we take the ladies out, we take them in the morning, Munib identifies them, he gets the transport, he brings them to the venue. So the venue is actually at Auckland Park at the IMA Center. So we take them there. We have a small breakfast, not a big breakfast. We take them for a small breakfast because we have a nice big lunch. So we take them for breakfast. We do a motivational talk, and then we take them out shopping. So the shopping for the ladies we do at Fashion World, very accommodating Fashion World. We take them there, and you can't believe when they go in that shop. It's like a child in a candy store. They don't know what to look at because they've never seen. I don't think they have that. That. How can I say? They don't know what to buy because everything there they want
They're
to look
overwhelmed.
overwhelmed. Yeah,
Yes.
they overwhelmed. Yeah.
Well, certainly, and I think like you say, is like a child in a candy store
You
because
can't believe it. Once one lady said to me, "Auntie Abida, I've never held a bag in my hand," and I was, wow. We must put our feet in their shoes and see what's it all
yeah.
about, how they feel.
And also amazing, just how much we take for granted because we
Exactly.
walk into a shopping mall, we walk into a shop casually as if it means nothing to
Nothing
us,
to us
and we're just browsing around. Yet for people like those who haven't been there for years,
for
it
years.
makes such
Maybe
a
they
big,
did
big,
it
big
in when
difference.
they were younger and when they were working, but now in
Mm.
their old age now, I mean, like they just
No,
at home,
no, absolutely. And also, I think also for them, give them an opportunity to get out, to see other people, to meet
Exactly.
other people as well. And I suppose that also because at that age, they want company. They want to talk to people.
Exactly.
Hey?
And so many of them, because I grew up in Frida or Fitas,
Mm.
we were people all from that area. So like somehow you get connected. Do you know this one? Do you know that one? So that
All the
conversation,
Hagai,
all the Hagai
all
starts.
the Hagai comes out.
Yeah.
And
So
old people love it.
yeah. And
They
in
love it.
Frida Dog, we were like one family also. Although we loved mix, but
Mm.
we were one family. And that's what it was all about.
Absolutely. And also I think let's just talk about in terms of some of the other forms of support that you give them, material support, because that is also very, very important. I know you take them shopping, but also any other forms of support, because again, it does, any support helps an elderly person with their state of mind, their mental health, and like you mentioned, when they go out, they meet people, they're making hagai, that social connection, all of that, adds just so much
Yeah,
to the joy at this very late age in their life.
definitely. So the other support we do give them, they know now what SANZAF does on our welfare side. So most of these grannies are looking after grandchildren because their children are now on another level. So they've taken over their grandchildren, staying with them. So their pension money is not enough for them to support these grandchildren. So they'll ask me, can they come? When is our bursary program available? When can they come for other assistance? They ask other questions, which we accommodate them. Come on this day is our welfare day, or our bursary applications come out on this day. Come and apply and things like that. So we give them that support. But obviously there is a procedure that goes with it. They have to come in, fill in the application, and then our welfare, they take over from there.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right, right, right. Okay, and let's talk about empowerment, because I know SANZAF over the years has been very, very strong on empowerment, and not and empowerment right across the board. Where SANZAF, I've seen it's not only about a charity or a zakat that you're just charging, but it's also about empowering people so that they can obviously fend and fend for themselves. And many instances we've seen huge success stories
Yeah.
emanating from SANZAF over a period of time, but particularly with regard to elderly women and widows. What sort of empowerment, how does empowerment align with the type of work you're doing, Sister Abida?
So empowerment is moral. Empowerment is when these ones they want to start their own business, a small business, maybe from. A lot of these are skilled people. They can do things. They used to knit and crochet and things like that. So they empowered with that. But somehow the other they didn't come back to me on that part. On that empowering part, they didn't come back to me. They said, look, we do give them, we did start a knitting program with them. We gave them wool knitting needles and they sat at home and they did knitting, but they did it for the orphanage children, hats and things like that. But then that thing just died off. So I think in today's time, the grannies of today's grannies are just different. They in such a predicament with their grandchildren, they don't know what to do anymore. So they're not empowering themselves anymore because they're looking after these grandchildren that their parents abandoned. The grandchildren's parents abandoned. So the grannies are looking after them. So we used to empower them, like, maybe what we had a entrepreneur section before, and they used to come there and they want to start a business, something small, but it just fell
I know,
apart.
no, no. Look, yeah, I understand. I understand. The thing is, and also we can understand how complex the situation may be for the elderly, for the grannies in particular. I know grandfathers normally would just sit and talk about the old days and the old stories with the grandchildren, but it's very, very different when it comes to grandmothers
Grandmas, yeah.
because they got to pay particular attention to the children, worrying about their well-being, about their food, whether they've eaten, they fall sick, this, that, all these type of things one actually takes for
And
granted.
like I
But
said, their pension money is very
yeah,
minimal.
you, you can't
They can't do much with
they
it.
can't do much. They
Yeah.
can't do much with it as well. But and also I think just looking at the impact from a community perspective and a tangible impact, Sister Abida, that I'd like to talk about in terms of what you've seen on the ground, the changes that you see, with the type of programs that you host and the impact that it actually makes on their lives as senior citizens. What have you seen? I'm sure there are many stories that you can actually relate to. I know having them express appreciation, joy, happiness. But I'm sure there are many other stories that you could share with us.
Yeah, they are. So a lot of them, like I said, they want to start their own business and things like that, but they just don't have the ability right now. So many, so many are sick today. But the grandfathers, the males, they still like artisans. They were artisans in their days. So some of them, they still do bits and pieces of what they can do. Welding, plumbing, whatever. But it doesn't pay them now. I think most of them are now, how can I say, not like they don't have that drive now anymore to do anything anymore.
Mm,
you
mm,
know
mm, mm,
to come out and do something. I think they just, because of the lifestyle they're leading now, things have
mm,
been different. In today's times, their concern is more their children need to go to school, they need to be educated, they need to be, like you said, be fed and all things like that. So that is their concern now. Other things don't matter in their lives right now. So their things have been a bit, gone a
no,
bit slow.
no, I can understand. But also, I think, I suppose you've got a good team that is actually working with you on this particular program regarding the elderly and the senior citizens. And also, in terms of support, what sort of support you get from the community?
So community, normally they know, well, personally was my team. I only have Brother Munib that works with me, Munib Martin, and
Mm,
obviously my managers and that. But they are my team. I like to, I don't know, I don't have too many on my team. So the community is always there. Like they'll always phone me and say, Auntie Abida, if you need anything, we are there for you. If you want anything, we are there for you. So that is the support I get from my communities. But like I said, we normally take them out. Just taking them out for these few things, breakfast, lunch, shopping, I think that is just enough for them. You
mm.
can't believe when they leave, they actually in tears. And Abida, we had a wonderful day. Allah reward SANZAF and reward you and whatever and ever. So that is fulfilling for me. Just that on its own.
No, absolutely. And I suppose, personally for you, it means a lot.
And just to give them their dignity, that's so
Mhm,
important.
mm,
Some of them don't get that at home. Just to give them that. And like I said, small things can impact big things in someone's life. Doing small things. Just to be kind, that's so important for
mm.
someone. You just have to be kind and humble and be grateful. I say three things with these people. Just be kind and humble with them.
No, absolutely. And I suppose over a period of time with your interaction with the elderly and the senior citizens, there's just so much that you've obviously observed,
Yeah.
and you've also learned in terms of passing on whatever your experiences are to other people, to inspire us to appreciate firstly the elderly within our community
Yeah.
as well. Just what are some of the lessons that we can take from your experiences and your interactions?
Like for me, if someone is out there that wants to come, and join the senior citizens program, they most welcome to come. Let's come, let's take them out for a day. Maybe not like the way I'm doing it.
Mm.
Take them out with it, the children. Let's go and have a picnic for the day, somewhere, but with the community. People from outside that's listening to this program come from outside and come in and say, let us do like a picnic for these grannies. So, like I said, I don't do too many of them. We only manage 20 at a time. Too many is going to be a bit too
I know.
much. So 20 is just like we can manage with them. But if the community is out there that wants to come and assist, that wants to contribute towards the program, to give something extra to the grannies, like, maybe another gift towards the program, they're most welcome to do so.
And also, just some advice finally, Sister Abeda, to families who've got elderly people in their home. What advice would you give them?
Please look after them. Don't marginalize them. Make sure that they are well kept. Talk. The main thing, these grannies want you to talk to them, no matter what it is. They want you to engage with them. They like to talk. They like to listen to stories. So engage with them. Speak to them. Don't put them in one corner and forget about them. There's an old age home in Lenasia. So I go there on a Sunday. I have an auntie there. And you can't believe when I get in there, some of them don't, they've got dementia and things like that. So some of them don't know who you are. But when you come in there, they just want to hug you. They don't want to leave you because families have just put them in there and left them. Yeah, I mean, in my days, your days, there was no such a thing as old age home.
Absolutely.
There was no such a thing as old age home. We looked after our grannies. We put them forward. I mean, these grannies brought up these children. They educated them. And now they forgot about them.
Mm.
They completely forgot about them. So these grannies, when I go in there, I go and see one person, but I end up seeing 10 people because these grannies don't want to leave you.
Yes. For anyone wanting to contribute to SANZAF towards this program.
So they're most welcome. They can phone the office, and they can ask for me or leave a message and I can, contact them again. And then we can set up a meeting and take it from there. Whatever they want to contribute. Or maybe they have ideas. Maybe they have other ideas where we can better our program.
Yes.
They're welcome to do so. Not my program can't be the only.
We need to wrap.
The ideas.
Well, inshallah, we certainly, will put it out as well. But Sister Abeda, once again, Jazakallah khairan so much for taking time out. I know you took the trouble to come here to the studio, but I'm glad you were able to visit our studio, but also sharing what you have with us as well. It's it's a part of our society, the elderly, and we need to focus. And I think sometimes there's just very little focus, but Allah Ta'ala accept your efforts. Allah reward your efforts as well. And inshallah, let's inspire a lot more people to get involved.
Jazakallah. Thank you. And yeah, like I said, everyone is welcome to phone the office or to come and even see. If they want to come and join in my program for the day, they're welcome to do so.
Inshallah.
Also.
I mean, yes, I'll come for the lunch.
No problem. You're welcome.
Jazakallah.
Yeah.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa
Walaikum
rahmatullahi wa
salam.
barakatuh.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yes, Sister Abeda Sader was us right here at Salam Media in studio with us, and the senior citizens program that SANZAF actually has. And really, it's something that we need to think about, we need to consider as well. And I'm sure together as a society, I know that a lot is being done in certain areas, but we still need to step up a gear. There's still a lot more that we can do for the people who have just sacrificed so much for us throughout their entire lives. With that, we're going to go for a break. We come back, we'll be joined by the Al Imdad Foundation.
For some, food is a passion. For others, it's a survival. But for these students, it's a second chance. Through flower-dusted dreams and flame-kissed hope, they rise. Each dish, a whisper of faith. Each lesson, a recipe for change. SANZAF believed in them. Now they believe in themselves.
Cooking for me is an art, and my plate is a canvas.
SANZAF has helped me envision my future as a pastry chef.
Baking to me is a science wrapped in an art form where precision meets passion.
From kneading scones with purpose, to perfecting breads under pressure, to plating a fusion of flavors with pride, their journey is raw, real, and absolutely remarkable. Join us on a culinary journey which blends focus and foods to give you a taste of success. This is From Recipe to Recipe, where skill meets soul.
SANZAF has helped me cultivate my passion, and it's given me direction.
Baking is my therapy. It's where I find my calm and creativity.
Thanks to SANZAF, I am able to turn my passion into a profession.
SANZAF, changing lives one student at a time.